everyone, welcome back to Obscurus Lupa Presents. Today we're going over Fast Getaway 2, so let's have a quick rundown of what we went over in Fast Getaway 1. Corey Haim is Nelson, who robs banks with his bemolted dad. Two of their former partners in crime, Lily and Tony, one of which is played by Cynthia Rothrock, I'll give you a hint, it's not Tony, are butthurt because they're out of the cool bank robbers club, so they kidnap Nelson. Mullet Dad must team up with Nelson's secret mother to rescue him, and they go on a high-speed chase which ends with Lily thrown off a truck and Tony on the side of a cliff. The family moves to Canada and proceeds to do the exact same thing that got them into this mess in the first place. The irony? Corey Haim really was Canadian! Cynthia Rothrock returns for the sequel, and man oh man, look at this cover. Rothrock and Haim are back to back, posing with their weapons with explosions and shit in the background. But they care not about explosions because they're badasses. Oh man, I'm so excited to see what this is about. I bet they team up and have to work together or something. Like, they hate each other, but they have a common goal. I mean, his dad did throw her off a truck and everything, and she did try to blow him up, but that's where the tension comes in. Guess what? None of this happens. Yeah, they don't really team up. Way to sell the movie, dudes. Nelson does his thing, and Cynthia Rothrock is a bumbling bad guy again. But this time, Haim has brown hair. Oh, and they aren't in Canada anymore, and Nelson's mom is nowhere to be seen. Don't hold your breath waiting for an explanation, cause there isn't one. So Nelson is living on his own now, and he wakes up in his mansion of a home to have sex with some random woman who I guess lives with him? Okay, seriously, who wrote this? Ah, here we go, Mark Sevi, writer of Ghoulies 4? Scanner Cop 2? Pterodactyl? Aw, this is gonna be painful. Nelson has to leave for work, and his mother waves goodbye to him. And by work, I mean he's gonna rob a bank again.
Folks, this is a stick-up. Everybody on the ground, right now. Look, people, just because I have this boyish face and this devilish charm doesn't mean I won't blow a brains out.
Boyish face? Maybe. I don't think shooting the ceiling counts as devilish charm, though. Also, he was 23 when he filmed this. I don't think you can call yourself a boy anymore. Nelson takes the woman hostage and tells the other people to start singing. You know, because it was hilarious in the first movie. I am splitting my sides. And just like in the first movie, it turns out that the hostage is actually in on it. The woman is named Patrice, and she's pretty much good at one thing.
Did you have to push me up against that guy? I mean, he smelled like a dead fish or something equally disgusting. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess it was your cologne.
You know what's great about this movie? I like that it repeats what we already saw 1,000 times in the first one. Let's throw in another police chase. Woo! I think this is the film's attempt at comedy, because almost hitting pedestrians is a laugh riot. To be fair, he was jaywalking. They managed to get ahead by stopping behind an old woman they knew would slow down because they memorized her daily schedule and timed it. I am dead serious. Never mind the fact that they didn't even need her to be in front to stop really quickly, that's just convoluted. Eventually they get boxed in, and Nelson is ready to go out with a bang.
Who's first? Who's gonna be first, you? How about you? Ow!
All right, everyone. You can stand down. Tell your TAC commander the exercise is over, and we'll debrief at the bank in 30 minutes.
Yeah, so the two of them actually work for an insurance business, and we're testing the bank's security. Haha, I'm so glad they endangered the cops, pedestrians, and themselves. This was totally worth it! When they get to the bank, we're introduced to Rankin, an FBI agent with a grudge against Nelson and his father.
What'd you call me, butthead?
He didn't actually call you anything.
You know, Rankin, you better let me go, or people are gonna start thinking we're in love, you know? Rankin.
Haha, he didn't take into account that Nelson is also the master of kissing chicken.
Don't you want to hit me, Nelson? An officer of the law?
Don't you want me to be a better actor, Nelson? Someone who can read the lines believably? He's so pissed about Nelson being an upstanding citizen now that he headbutts him. You know, because that's illegal. Before things can go further, though, Nelson's boss shows up and tells him that as long as he works for him, he's protected.
You mess with him, you're messing with us. In other words...
Oh? I'm so frightened, Mira. My butt's so puckered. I don't think I'll be able to take a crap today.
Oh my gosh, they're actually playing lightsabers with their dicks at this point. But never mind that. What's Cynthia Rothrock up to these days? Cynthia Rothrock. Lover, fighter, expert pantomime. She's pretending to have a flat tire so she can trick a couple of janitors into letting her into the bank to use the phone. Once they step outside, she and her lackeys beat them up and they rob the place. Considering her track record for the previous movie, I'd say she did spectacularly. Back at Nelson's place, Patrice has come over for business while Nelson kicks out another one-night stand. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Some pancakes?
Starch, cholesterol, and fat. No thanks.
Oh, you're too good for pancakes now. Excuse me, princess. She tries to explain, in more or less words, that Nelson is a dumbass, and he, in more or less words, proves her right. There's a sitcom in there somewhere. Gets a call about the bank being robbed just as Patrice says she quits. Hooray! She's out of the movie! No, not really. Though this does give her some valuable whining time.
You're a child, you're irresponsible, you're thoughtless, you're careless, and I don't like you.
While she's doing her best Fairuza Balk impression, can I just comment on how they somehow made Corey Haim's hair worse in this movie? Like, I got the last one. It was terribly dated, but I got it. This? What is happening? It's like he had a different haircut and it got depressed. I miss when movies focused on real human drama like this one. How many people out there wouldn't connect with a former bank robber raised on the road who has a falling out with his barely introduced insurance partner? Well, at least she isn't having sex with him like the last guy. In case you're wondering what the point of this scene is, No, there is no point to this scene. It's basically here so they can put a picture of it on the back of the VHS box and pretend Cynthia Rothrock has a bigger role in the movie. At least they don't have her fighting the furniture this time. Half an hour in, we might as well explain where Nelson's father is, which is, of course, jail. And Tony is in there with him, and they're best buds now, apparently. So what the hell happened? I mean, we're assuming that Sam's there because of another bank robbery, but it would be nice if they threw in, like, a sentence or two about it. Also, remember Lorraine? Did she ditch them, or is she in jail too? And what about Tony? Why are they buddies all of a sudden? Hey Tony, remember that time you tried to kill me and blow up my son? Yeah, and I drove off a cliff and almost died? Good times.
We're supposed to be able next week. I was in the neighborhood pub.
Tony. Hey. What?
Nelson, he tried to blow you up into tiny vanilla ice-sized pieces. Anyway, Nelson is there to ask his father to help him investigate the robbery, and Sam recognizes Lily's ass in one of the pictures. No, seriously, that's how he recognizes her, with state-of-the-art ass-recognizing technology.
Lily? Your Lily? His Lily? Our Lily? I mean Lily?
No, Tiger Lily. Get out the peace pipe, Nelson! Meanwhile, Rankin, as he's trying to make himself even more box-shaped, breaks into Nelson's house and meets Patrice.
What are you doing here?
I knocked.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe this dialogue came from the same genius behind Ghoulies 4. Simply remarkable.
Nelson's old man cut a deal with the DA. Get his son off the hook. The deal stunk then and it stinks now.
That's what he's got his panties in a twist about? This is why he headbutts a guy and attempts to rape Patrice? Sorry, dude, but your stuff trumps being a bank robber. Things get increasingly awkward as he explains to Patrice that 3 of the banks Nelson worked on have gotten robbed, and he suspects that Nelson is behind the crimes. When Nelson returns, Patrice takes the time she could have spent telling him about Rankin's attempted rape and all that, to instead whine about his attitude toward women.
For the last year, I've been in business with a man who thinks a wet t-shirt contest is classical entertainment.
She eventually does tell him about Rankin's suspicions, and he kicks her out when she whines some more. Hang on, baby. I've got to look behind me while some sad piano music plays for a second. I also forgot to mention that Cynthia Rothrock is a master of disguise.
I get these terrible headaches whenever I think of money. I really do need a good bank, so I don't have to think anymore.
Oh, sorry. I meant that she has the ability to become Miss Swan, apparently. Hey, she's being helped by Peter from the room. She drugs the banker so she can make a copy of his keys to the bank, but when a real doctor shows up at the scene, she has to think quickly.
Oh, my heart, it feels funny.
What accent is this? I do not know.
Hey, what do you know? I don't feel faint anymore. I guess I just needed some fresh air. Oh, thank you, darling.
That was an Oscar-worthy performance. Bravo! Later that night, an unknown figure breaks into Nelson's house to steal some things just as he comes home drunkenly with a date.
What was that noise I just heard?
I couldn't hear anything above your belching.
Yeah, well, Mexican food.
Ah, that boyish-faced scoundrel with the devilish charm. And Nelson was nestled all snug on the tile, his head filled with visions of hookers and bile. A villain snuck by as he took his nap, trying to make us forget that this film is crap. Nelson tried to bed him he was terribly lewd, but started a fight when he found it was a dude. The audience failed to laugh, and a drunken fight ensued. To sum things up, Nelson is a dumbass. While he's out, Lily and the others rob the bank, placing some evidence that will frame him. And seriously, why does she need to dress like she's going to the opera? When Nelson wakes up the next day, he finds one of his stuffed animals with its head missing. Clearly he's traumatized. He explains the situation to Patrice, but he doesn't want to go to the police because he feels like it'll make him look bad. I don't know though, I'm pretty sure dressing like Pinocchio is what made you look bad, Nelson.
I just thought maybe the security camera caught a shot of the intruder last night.
That's a good idea.
Checking the security camera? What a crack team these two are. Nelson sees the footage of Rankin assaulting Patrice and gets pretty pissed about it, just when Rankin shows up again, destroying the tape. He tells Nelson he's under arrest.
You would like to resist, wouldn't you?
Man, this guy really hates bank robbers. Whoa! Oh, you really had to break the rest of it? Tubular dudes! Curse him and his devilish charm! Man, that is one hip-happening dude. Oh man, land surfing and running from a dog in someone's backyard. Might as well make it a cliche triad and have him land in a pool surrounded by bikini babes who are somehow charmed by it. Trust me, Haim, we're not sharing the joke with you. What, really? You run straight toward the police car and jump over another vehicle? How is that an effective escape route? Aw, snap, shit just got real.
As for trying to kill me.
Now go to jail with my father so I can immediately forget about it in the next sequel. Hehe, those police officers are 5. Back at the jail, Sam sees a news report that says Nelson is wanted for robbery, prompting him to get Tony's help in breaking out. Because at that time they tried to kill each other. Best buds!
The director didn't convey that properly at all.
Huh. I would have thought that would be more difficult than that. He goes to Nelson's place just as Patrice is visiting, leading up to this hilarious moment when she beats him with a bat.
You're Nelson's father, aren't you?
You just turned me into his mother.
Haha, get it? His mother? Because she apparently doesn't exist anymore. I'll save you the trouble of having to sit through this scene. Blah blah blah, complain, complain. I'm charming apparently.
Nelson had a prowler the other night, so I just came by to see if I could find some evidence to prove the knife was stolen.
What knife?
Okay, it's a long story, okay?
They found Nelson's knife at the crime scene. That's not really that long of a story.
One bite?
No thanks. It's starch, cholesterol, and fat.
Put air in your chest.
See? Charm! They get a call from Nelson and they say they'll pick him up. Meanwhile, Tony is covering for Sam at the jail, where apparently they still don't know that he's broken out. In a movie that thinks the height of comedy is having Tony obsessed with flossing, I cease to question logic anymore. He's, disguised himself as a hunchbacked woman in a turban. See, if I hadn't stopped questioning logic by now, I might think this was stupid. But it makes perfect sense now. And of course, seeing as how no one else was in there and he immediately takes the disguise off, thus making it pointless, I still question nothing, because the sky is purple and grass is orange. And of course, Rankin shows up. Man, that hunchback goon outfit would have done you a world of good right about now.
Looks like a scumbag reunion to me.
He's reading cue cards, isn't he?
I want to get downwind to you.
Go on, Pop.
I don't get it. This movie's subtlety astounds me. Do washers really explode like that? Good luck, Patrice.
We're potters. We don't quit. Fast getaways, that's our specialty.
That's the title! Oh man! Oh zing! Boom! A driving scene and some fart jokes later, Patrice is let off without charge, much to Rankin's displeasure. Oh man, rattlesnake, right behind you! Does anyone notice that? Shit! Nelson and Sam show up at the next bank they believe Lily will rob, and it turns out that she's working for their boss guy? So she's a lackey in this one? They somehow made her part even more useless?
You want some of the same, Nelson?
You do, and I'll shove those fake tits right up into your throat.
Fake! Fake my ass.
Oh yeah, maybe that too.
Oh my gosh, this is painful. Please get to the end. The bad guys rob the bank, a man's ass is set on fire, and they eventually end up in a car chase because Patrice is kidnapped. The details are unimportant. All you need to know is that Rankin joins in with a rocket launcher. Seriously, there is no way you can cover that up, dude. Ha, I'm a Bond villain! Sam throws some rakes at him because clearly that's an even match for a rocket launcher. He eventually gets disconnected from Nelson's car and Rankin blows him up.
What?
You got me there, movie. What is he, the T-1000? How does he keep surviving? How? And then, my gentle viewers, a poop joke.
Shit!
Boss guy ends up crashing the car and the girls get in a fight. Yeah, this is where Cynthia Rothrock gets her big exit she didn't get in the first film. I wonder what happens. I bet she gets drop kicked or exploded or something.
Payday.
I hate you, movie. I hate you. Sam and Shitface fight on the back of his truck as his driver goes straight into a fire, which apparently makes them explode. It's okay though, seeing as how Sam has his explosion repellent with him apparently. He takes off back into jail because apparently they thought he had diarrhea this whole time. I shit you not.
Give him some peace for crap's sake. Hey, I made a joke, get it? For crap's sake.
Ha ha ha, poop joke! Oh, and he also stole the money from the robbery. Character development. Nelson and Patrice make out for a bit.
You know, us Potters are famous for our fast getaways. Do you know that?
Oh, you had to throw that last one in. And that's it. Final thoughts? Fast Getaway 2 is not a good sequel. And really, it's not that great of a movie. While you got some cheesy fun in the first one, this one just came off like it was trying too hard. Characters did things that didn't make sense, they never explain what happened in between the two films, and Cynthia Rothrock is wasted again. To be fair though, some character moments were fun, and it was nice that it had some continuity from the first film. If you dug part 1, this might be worth seeing. With all of this Cynthia Rothrock lately, I feel like I need to revisit another old friend. Next week, we're hassling the Hoff.
From the pages of entertainment history, from a brand renowned for non-stop action-adventure, from a name that stirs the imagination, from a universe where good is heroic and evil sets the screen ablaze, comes a man who will always remain a hero.
I'll get that vampire's blood if I have to suck it from her neck.
My butt's so puckered. I don't think I'll be able to take a crap today.